You want to know what the richest neighborhoods of Southern Oregon look like? Well, we are going to show you, because right back here behind me is the entire Rogue Valley. We have a phenomenal view from up here on Roxyann Peak. And we're going to show you one of these neighborhoods down below us that's one of the richest neighborhoods of Southern Oregon, because there's actually quite a few, surprisingly. Not an area that you would think of as being super affluent, but there are some bougie neighborhoods, and we're going to show you the top one. Let's go. So we're now here in the Saddle Ridge neighborhood, checking out these houses. So there are amazing homes in this neighborhood, and the reason that we picked it is because, number one, as you'll see here, there's a lot of diversity of the types of homes here, and they are all like really nice. Okay, so as we walk through this neighborhood, you're going to see really amazing different styles of architecture, like different sizes of homes, different types of landscaping, and all sorts of really amazing things. So one of the things that makes this neighborhood so amazing, and I'm going to share my opinion, then Josh can share his, but what I think that is so attractive about this neighborhood is, first and foremost, the location. All right, so we are, like we said, East Medford, but we're actually like in a spot where you have incredible views, and it's also very convenient and easy to get around. Okay, so getting to the grocery store not far away, getting to the hospital and all that stuff not far away. Look at this house, dude, that thing is beautiful.
Stunning.
Yeah, all that rock work on there, super nice, and all the landscaping with all the rock work here, just amazing. So like this level of detail is something you're not going to get in every neighborhood, but just really nicely done and well thought out for sure. But that's mine. The location, I think, is my favorite part about this neighborhood. But what do you think?
Yeah, Brian, you said that awesome. In this area specifically, you are obviously in a nice area overall, but you're also close to Roxyann Peak, which is one of the main areas that people go to hike, bike, run, with incredible views. As far as the houses in here in this neighborhood specifically, they're ranging in price points. Right, you have stuff anywhere from $600,000 all the way up to $2 million or more. And you have just such a good mix of everything. Like this house up here, for example, right? We got stucco siding. We have, it looks like a tile roof, 3-car garage door, all separate, which is also way different from the house right across the street.
I actually almost bought that house.
Really?
Yeah. So, well, not really almost bought it, but I went and looked at it and was really considering it. But it was listed back then. It's probably 5 years ago. It was listed for around $700,000. Maybe $750 if I remember right, but it was awesome. It did need a little bit of updating to be done. I think it was bank owned at the time, but gosh, I mean, $700,000. I don't know what's that one worth right now.
Brian, we're gonna do a quick little estimate here on Zillow, and we are gonna see how much money you missed out on. Let's see here, Brian. So it looks like the estimated value is around $1,375,000. Okay. So as far as equity goes, what you missed out on about $600K, is that right?
Yeah, in 5 years. Right? Yeah. You should have probably not looked that up.
It does go to show you guys, though, that in this area specifically, there is a ton of $1 million+ homes, and it is a premium location. Check out this driveway right here, full roundabout. Looks like a rock waterfall feature. That is stuff.
I mean, so when you talk about, you hear realtors talk about curb appeal a lot. This is curb appeal.
Yes.
Okay? The only thing is we don't have the fountain going right now, but with that fountain and just the whole entrance there with the rock work and the arch door, that's curb appeal. Like that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. That's just beautiful, very well maintained, just meticulous, really like a good attention to detail. Like that's exactly the model of what curb appeal.
And whether you're a buyer or seller, what happens is your first impression is perfect.
Yeah.
If your first impression's perfect, you're already off to a positive start, thinking that the rest of the house is going to be in great shape.
Exactly.
Usually, funny thing, the outside demonstrates what the inside's going to look like. So if you pull 100%. Up and the outside's dialed in, you can bet the inside's going to look pretty good too.
Absolutely, yeah. And so one of the other funny things about this neighborhood and why we selected this as the richest neighborhood in Southern Oregon is because it just had the highest concentration of homes over $1 million that have sold in the last year. Okay, there's other, if you were to look at bigger parts of Southern Oregon, you looked at Ashland overall or Jacksonville overall, of course there's more homes over $1 million that have sold, but this one, there's only like 40 houses in this neighborhood and 9 of them, I think it was, sold over $1 million in the last year. Okay, so that's a pretty significant.
And more of them are probably worth over $1 million too at this point.
Yeah, tons of them. But what's so cool, I mean, you still even have developable lots here. And off in the distance, you can see the views. I mean, just killer views.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about this area specifically is just the mix, the views, the lots are all different. None of them are cookie cutters. All the houses, different paint colors, different styles. You truly get a mix of everything, which is a very unique feel, and it's quiet, right? So if you do have kids, you don't have cars zooming through here. You know, everything is slow paced in here, which is nice.
This is such a good spot to just stop and see exactly what you're talking about, because look, I mean, this house here on the right, log, you know, dormers and like the big log work on the entry with the bears and the rock work and all that kind of stuff. I mean, just the total like Northwest, like mountain house kind of vibe going on there, which is super cool. And then you have kind of more like in the center, you have the just very, very clean, not quite like a Tuscan look, but kind of more of like a modern-y, like contemporary style, I would say, with just the clean lines and all that. And then kind of similar over here, like got a little bit of a mid-century modern vibe going on with just like the really meticulous landscaping. And I love the driveway here. I love how like the black, you know, the blacktop just pops.
Looks like it's been seal coated recently.
Yeah, it's just really pretty. And with the Japanese maples and everything, I mean, they just did a really, really incredible job of tying it all together and making it all like really pop and look great. So kudos to the owners of that one. That's a beautiful, beautiful home. They all are in here. And a lot of them, you know, parking, like RV parking, they all got spots. Well, I shouldn't say all, but a lot of these have places for RV parking or parking your boat. A lot of other really cool, I don't know if you want to call them amenities or features or whatever, but cool things that these homes have are pools. Most of these homes have nice pools. And some of them have putting greens, all sorts of stuff like that. So one of the things I think is really neat that I've noticed just in walking around is that, again, like the roofing, right? So these roofs, like you see tile roof here on the left, you see, you know, some metal on the lower portion on this one, and then different tiles up on the top there. I mean, like those are crazy expensive roofs to install, like relative to like a traditional composition roof that you see on most homes in town. These are like probably twice the cost from what I've seen.
And should last quite a bit longer.
Yeah, totally. But they just, you know, they look great and you know, definitely do add some value. But
I think if my math is right, and don't quote me because I wasn't a math guy in school, but I think tile roofs are supposed to be 75 to 100 years.
I believe it. You know, so I had a listing that I had sold recently. I actually represented the buyer on it. And it had a tile roof. And what I found out was that the tiles themselves will last 75 to 100 years. But what does not is the underlayment. Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
So here, just real quick, the curb appeal again on this one I think is really, really awesome. I love like the entryway, the way the door sits and everything is really awesome. But yeah, so the underlayment is what they say goes bad on those. And
because the tile's heavy too.
Yeah, and if it's not installed properly, there can be like the lower portion of the underlayment can go out. It can deteriorate, and then you have to basically rip the whole roof off to redo it. So your life is then now limited to just the underlayment. So anyways, fun fact for you. But again, just really pretty lines on these homes, like the roof line, the color schemes, the rock work, the landscaping, all that is pretty nice and clean, and that's what you can come to expect in the richest neighborhood of Southern Oregon.
And you guys have probably noticed by this point, if you're looking for an area that every house is dialed in and different, we have not seen a single house walking through here where the grass wasn't green, the landscaping wasn't kept up, and the house itself didn't look dialed in. Everything in here is very well taken care of. So if you did decide to move to an area like this, rest assured, you're gonna be in good company and in a very clean environment.
Yeah, and it comes with its own lawnmowers, as you can see in this guy's yard over here.
That's right.
And another little trespasser over here. So yeah, all sorts of great stuff, little amenities. But to Josh's point, what you get, those are all the benefits of having an HOA. And so you hear HOA is homeowners association, and CC&Rs, which are covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Yeah, point being, those are basically rules of the neighborhood. And when you have rules of the neighborhood, you can make sure that everybody keeps their yard nice and clean and that everything's, well kept, and there's not, some hobby car out on blocks.
Or your neighbor's trailer out sitting in front of your house 24/7. That will not happen in this neighborhood.
Exactly. See, let's look at this one too.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That drop down.
Love that, like central. I'm gonna be creepy and
cool.
Get a closer look here, because I want this, like, again, level of detail. Like, look at the woodwork on the front of the garages in that courtyard. Just what a beautiful look. I mean, that is such a cool home. Love that. So, and saying this one over here too. Love that kind of Tuscan vibe. Great looking place. So we are going to continue our walk up, and we're going to go check out the upper end of this neighborhood, which is Autumn Park. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and snap our fingers and be right there. All right, so we are now up in the Autumn Park. Well, we're still in Saddle Ridge, but we're on the Autumn Park Street now, which is up above where we just were off of Fallbrook and Saddle Ridge and all that kind of stuff. So up here, you're going to see homes that are also absolutely stunning, but a little bit of newer construction going on here, right?
Yes, so if you are someone that's mainly interested in a new construction or a new build, these homes on this street, Autumn Park specifically, are all constructed within the last 5 years, according to what we could find.
Yeah.
And there is plenty of more lots up here and more construction going on.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a brand new build, this is definitely the area, because there's going to be some stuff happening over the next few years.
Yeah, and while we're here, let me just say that. Well, let's just pause for a quick second, and I'm just going to show you some drone footage, give you kind of a lay of the land so you can see how much more development there is to actually happen in this area, and then we'll go on ahead and continue on with our walk up Autumn Park. Okay, welcome back, and let's check out this one right here. Look at this house. I mean, that is unreal beautiful, in my opinion. I love the white, I love the brick, love the American flag, the whole thing. I mean, that place is just amazing. And just again, a different style of architecture that you see here. Again, just one of the many. A lot of variety,
And as you guys can see, as we're walking up right now, they're still finishing, again, a brand new home, which is super cool to see the progress.
Yeah. Well, again, same deal with a lot of these houses, as you'll see kind of in the backyard here. Pools,
basketball
big
courts.
Parking on most of them. Basketball court and the one right there behind me that you can see. But beautiful, beautiful homes. Definitely.
Great walking trails up here, Brian.
Yeah.
If you're a big walker, you're a family walker, whatever, there's some great spots, some good hills, quiet, but able to get up and get some good walks in.
For sure. So, yeah, I mean, you could just walk this sidewalk right here and get your blood pumping and your breathing rate up a little bit, like mine's getting.
Heart rate through the roof. But Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you recently sell a house on Autumn Park Drive?
Yeah, I did sell one here recently. That buyer was looking for something that was just a beautiful home that they could utilize as an Airbnb in the short term. And we looked all over Southern Oregon. We looked Medford, we looked at Ashland. And look at that place. That place is awesome too. The view.
Yeah,
let's just take a look real quick, and I'll continue my story in a second. But just want to show you the view off the back there. Look at how amazing that is. Wow.
Yeah, true panoramic of Rogue Valley.
Yeah, but anyway, so with the one that we sold, looking for an Airbnb type of a place. So we did a lot of research and found, that was doable. And we looked, like I said, all over Medford, Ashland, Jacksonville, and we even went all the way to Bend. And after looking at all those places and homes that were 50% more, even, this is the area that they decided on, and for good reason. I mean, the value when compared to these other areas was just so much better. I mean, you just got so much more of a home here. than in those other areas. And so it was just kind of a no-brainer for them. And yeah, I was really happy to see it all come together, and they're very, very excited about it. So great place. Speaking of, look at this one. Another just beautiful home, great landscaping. Love that little brook kind of thing going on in there, the water feature, but perfect example of, again, that curb appeal, just making it look really, really wonderful. You can also see off there in the distance, that house with the white, that's just the moisture barrier that they're installing before they put the siding on, but that is brand new construction. And so is an example of the homes that are coming available in this neighborhood. Whether that'll be for sale or not, I don't know, but it's probably a custom build for somebody. But you can see here just all these lots that are
counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 lots up here.
Yeah,
that the audience can see. So there is plenty more stuff up here to be developed.
Yeah, absolutely. And that house there at the end, this is probably where we'll stop and turn around, but that house there at the end with the glass on the right, the glass deck railing, that one I believe sold for 1.8 million, if I remember right. It was right in there. Beautiful, beautiful home. But this Roxyann Peak up there, that mountain up there to our right, you can see just really, beautiful up there. But there's a great biking and hiking trail that goes all the way around that peak. So we'll cruise on up there and give you just a little bit of a look of kind of what the view's like from up there, so you can see what's available right out of your back door here in the richest neighborhood of Southern Oregon.
We are now driving up Roxyann Peak Trail, which is what we had told you guys about. Great biking, hiking, and walking trail. Incredible views all the way around. People come up here pretty much year round. It's a very cool spot.
Yeah, so my favorite thing about this spot is if you hike this or bike it, whatever, in the spring, when all the wildflowers are blooming, and you go around the peak onto the backside, it is absolutely beautiful up there, and you just get this view of the wildflowers that just go on forever, it seems like. Really, really spectacular. Just a great view.
And check out this view as you're driving up. I mean, that's unbeatable.
Yeah, and as a walk or a bike, this honestly isn't very bad. Like, cause you could park anywhere along this stretch, like down below, and hike or bike up along the road, or there's a parking lot that we'll come up to up here, and you could park there, and then it's relatively flat if you're just doing the loop around the actual peak itself. So you could go up to the peak. There's a road on the back side of it, or a little trail that you could take up there, and I believe there's actually bike trails, some single track bike trails up there. I've never done them myself, but I've heard that there's single track bike trails up off the peak up there by the towers.
Yeah, there is. There's actually quite a few.
Yeah, I've heard it's awesome. Never done it, but it's supposed to be pretty good. But man, the views, like you just said, off to our left here are just unbelievable. Full-on valley views. We'll pull over up here and take a couple shots and let you guys see that, because it is really, really spectacular. So we're getting real close to the parking area up here, which you can start to see, but we're basically up the mountain, right? So now if you were to park here, you could hike or bike right out of here, and you're not going to have the climb that you would have obviously if you were to park way down below. Anyways, just to show you guys this, you can see the mountain right there in front of us, and this road continues on, and it'll just kind of wrap around the whole mountain.
And it actually goes up to a flat gravel parking spot up there as well. So multiple spots to park all along the way. It really just depends on what you're doing, whether you're biking, walking, or hiking, or just sightseeing. Either way, there's tons of options up here.
Yeah, and however much of a workout you want to do, you can just bite off as much as you want.
That's right.
Start biking or hiking down lower and do the whole thing if you're feeling like it. Hey, thanks for checking out the richest neighborhood in Southern Oregon with us. It was a pleasure to give you a little bit of a tour. As promised, this video right here is going to show you the tour of one of the beautiful homes in this neighborhood, and it is absolutely stunning. The views, the kitchen in this place is unreal. You're going to love it. So go ahead and check that out. And if there's anything we can do to help you, please do not hesitate to call me directly. This is my number. Call me, text me at 541-954-7758. And I cannot wait to hear from you, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.